Welcome to Week 1 Assignment Directions. I'm going to walk you through this, and I'll do this every week to help you navigate and successfully complete your course. Now, the dates might be different depending upon when you take this course, so don't worry about the specific dates listed right here. So Week 1, Foundations of Management. So what is management? Well, it gives you, this is the foundational ideas concerning what management is, and performance management and HR and such. So you'll want to complete the readings, very carefully. Here's an overview of the course, of the foundations, and read every word of this. So you got the context, what makes a great manager, and some information. I'm not going to read this to you. You've got the gift of that, so there's really no point in me extending that beyond what you can see here. But click on it. Open it up, read through it before you complete any reading assignments, so you know what is expected of you. Begin reading chapters 1 and 11. Okay, take notes while you do this. Start planning, and you just click through this management informational interview. I'll talk about that at a little later date, but read through the requirements of that. Planning early is a great way to get this lined up, so you're not stressed. And here, let's just open it for the fun of it. So informational interview, you plan ahead to, you want to pick somebody out maybe that you work with or have worked with, or that you know at the university, or that you work for. It's pretty broad in that sense, but they should have some management ability or management experience, excuse me. And so you're going to, prepare intelligent questions about the concepts covered in the course. This is why you don't want to do this Week 1, but you want to line somebody up as quick as you can. Take notes and analyze your reference materials as we go through the course. If you have questions about interviewees or how to prepare questions, contact me and I'll help you as best I can. We make a list, maybe 10 questions. That's a good starting point. Format. Follow these formats exactly. Submit reflections on what you learned in the interview as either 750-word written assignment or a 5-minute narrated PowerPoint. Either one is fine, but you're going to want to answer all the questions. So every question that you ask should be in bold with their response following as a presentation or as a written document. So it's going to be question, answer, question, answer. That will always be the case. And it's going to include this information, these 4 things. Again, you're going to want to bold these questions and maybe even break them up a little farther. Who did you interview? Where do they work? What's unique about their management experience? Again, you're going to make all of these bold on the document, and then the answer or the response following in regular font. So, and that should be that'll be true of every assignment that you turn in. Okay, so that's toward the end of the course. Yes, that's not till August. But again, get a jump on this as best you can. Let me go back. There's Week 1. So here's the overview. Again, this is how you navigate. So there's the reading assignments, learning outcomes, weekly outcomes. Complete the orientation activities for the course, course support. Again, read through these. Introductions forum, take you right to that. Social discussion forum. Again, consider the questions posed, if there are any. The questions are always in bold and included in your written document with your answer following. Okay, this is business writing. This is not literature writing or English writing, even though those rules still apply. This is business writing, so it's going to be very kind of like how a textbook is laid out, very, very organized. Got the resources, you got a video to watch, key terms. So by day 4, you're going to do this reflection presentation. So day 4, so you're going to want to start day 1, working this up, so you've got some information to participate with, and then a scenario-based discussion board. So let's look at reflection presentation. So you've got 3 points to cover. And again, these will be in bold. Resonate, resist, unanswered questions. So, and it tells you what resonates with you, given what you've learned, what you've talked about. And again, this is going to be in the form of a 2 to 3 minute narrated PowerPoint presentation, or use the record video button on the toolbar. Okay, I'm more familiar with PowerPoint than I am the record video, but I got a feeling they're pretty straightforward. You're going to want to write this out so you've got a script to follow. Okay, 2 minutes is not very much time to answer these questions. So you're going to want to write this yourself a script that you can follow. You don't need to read it directly, but just cues. Your reflection should succinctly summarize the connections and questions from your perspective regarding the topics covered in the week's content. At least one reflection on each of the following: resonate, resist, and unanswered. You can read what those mean. While you share your reflection in the forum, replies to peers are not required. Okay, so you're just posting this for now, but you want to read other people. And then there's a forum, a rubric, that's in there. So scenario-based decision, or discussion, Again, see how this is laid out? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. All right? Follow these exactly. How you see this evaluation of each choice, it's going to be laid out exactly like this. The heading is going to be choice. These are going to be in bold with the answers or your reply to each of these in regular font. All right? So it's sort of like how this is laid out, in fact. Anyway, carefully read the scenario, which is down here. Right here's the workplace scenario. You're going to read that really carefully. I would read that before you do the reading and the assignment, so you can take notes to see, to make the connections. So this is a thinking person's course. This isn't just memorization. You're going to actively participate in management decisions, given the scenario you're working on. And I would not expect everyone to have the same answer necessarily, but the high scores will reflect that you've really thought about this in a careful, strategic manner. So read it carefully. So you get the four steps, you can follow those. Evaluating the scenario. You got choices. There's a scenario. Leadership. So this is the characteristics of the workplace that you're asking. You're assigned, say, a management role or a consulting role, and how would you rate these choices given the strengths and weaknesses? Which ones take precedence? So that's where you come into the management question, which is one of the last assignments for the week. Which HR method strategy is most important given the conditions described in the scenario? This is the scenario right here. So succession planning. Well, you're going to have to know what succession planning is and why it's done. Talent acquisition. Why is it done? What does that mean? And talent reviews. Why is it done? What are the goals? Which one would you most important? And number 2, include a comment about technology. You're going to bold each of these. Choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, but technology is going to be an added answer in there. So how does technology affect your estimation of each of these 3 tasks? Okay, and so this is why, again, you want to get in on these things early. And then there's a scenario base, and here's management exercises. And you get the due dates right there. So each week complete the set and submit the designated exercises from your open textbook. If you have questions, post them in the course support forum at the top so other students can see how I respond to these things. Again, look at the rubric. Again, you're going to bold skills application exercises, chapter 1, page 28, number 2. So what are you looking for? You're looking for skills application exercise. Managerial decision exercise, page 28, number 2. And then that's chapter 1, chapter 11, and it gives you the page numbers and which one. Again, you're going to label each and every one of these as they're shown right here. So you've got it all in front of you with your reply to each of these questions in regular font. These are bold, so they're headings. So here's the reason. I can quickly find where you've answered. Number 1. Number 2, you'll completely answer all the questions. And number 3, in discussion forums where others are reading your work, they can quickly zero in on what you're talking about. So this is fundamentally going to do this every week, every time. and it makes it much easier for you to stay organized, quite frankly, and focus not so much on figuring out what we want or what the course requires, but your analysis and your ability to think strategically. So I believe that takes us to the end of week 1. So stay motivated, get going, and if I can help you, I certainly will, but your time management skills are going to be paramount, and you're going to see why. But this is certainly capable. You're certainly capable of completing all this work in the time allowed. So take care, enjoy, learn a lot, and I'll be around. Thank you.